going on, guys? This is going to be week 6 5-minute fantasy quarterbacks. Booming and busting. The first quarterback that I'm going to say is going to be booming this week is going to be Dak Prescott. You know, Dak Prescott, the last couple weeks, in a football standpoint, he got embarrassed, and I think they're going to be looking at a bounce-back game. The New York Jets have never had a good defensive back room since Darrelle Revis got old. So, look for Dak Prescott to have a prove-it game, basically. A lot of people have been saying that he just lost his big contract, so look to see some creative plays to see if he can get, back into the, favor of the national media. Another quarterback that I'm going to be saying is going to boom is Kyler Murray. When the safety for the Atlanta Falcons went down, I believe it was Keanu Neal, everything changed. No, Keanu Neal's a linebacker. Mohamed Sanu went down, the safety from the Atlanta Falcons, and everything changed. All of a sudden, there's no top on that defense. Kyler Murray's going to have a great game in Atlanta this week. Kirk Cousins is going to have another great week. The Vikings are playing, I didn't write it down. They're playing Monday Night Football, though. My bad. They're playing Thursday Night Football. I know that. And I'm going to be willing to bet that Kirk Cousins is going to get the monkey off his back, and they are going to be able to take on the Philadelphia Eagles, who have a good running defense, but not a great passing defense. That's right. So look for Kirk Cousins to score some points again this week. Andy Dalton against Baltimore. Baltimore's defense is starting to look more and more suspect as the weeks go on. Andy Dalton hasn't had much to play for in a while, but the man is still going out there throwing way too many passes per game. Joe Mixon looks like he's going to be having a disappointing start to a season again. So look for Andy Dalton, especially that Andy Dalton to Tyler Boyd connection. There could potentially be a lot of targets to Tyler Eifert too, as well, because he likes that short intermediate passing game. Kyle Allen, again. Careful about Kyle Allen. This would be more of like a desperation attempt. Like if you have two quarterbacks and they're both on bye weeks, or like if you had, Drew Brees and then now your other quarterback's on a bye. You could try Kyle Allen because Tampa Bay has a good running defense, which is making me nervous about Christian McCaffrey because I have him in every league. I have Christian in every league that I'm in. But the Tampa Bay Buccaneers don't have a great pass defense. So look for Kyle Allen to potentially have some sort of another developmental game right there. And look for more passes to the wide receivers. Lamar Jackson, finally. I think Lamar Jackson is going to have a NFL bounce-back game. He's been having pretty good fantasy games, but not great NFL games. This week, I think he's going to have a great game on both accounts. Against the Cincinnati Bengals, it's a divisional game. They still don't have a great defense, but I think Lamar Jackson could end up carving up their secondary as well as their front seven running the football as well. Busting quarterbacks this week, I'm going to say Jared Goff. I needed one more week to see the San Francisco 49ers defense. 3-0 through the first 3 weeks was a little suspect. And I knew they had a great defensive line. That's why I said that they were going to mollywop the Browns. And then they did. They absolutely did. So I'm going to take Jared Goff off my board this week. I love the Rams. I love everything that they're doing. But I think that the 49ers defense in the regular season this year is going to be absolutely monstrous. I'm going to say sit Jimmy Garoppolo because the Rams, not only do they have a good defense, but they're also coming off a long week. Remember, because they played Thursday Night Football, so they have an extra 3 or 4 days to prepare for the 49ers, who they just saw what they do best against the Browns. So look for Jimmy Garoppolo to get slowed down again this week. Aaron Rodgers against Detroit. Same thing for them. Detroit has been putting up a really good NFL defense. Fantasy-wise, they're not doing great, but NFL defense, they're really starting to slow down quarterbacks. What they did against Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs would consider themselves lucky to have walked away with that win. Look for the Detroit Lions off of a bye week to really shut down Aaron Rodgers. This week, Gardner Minshew against the New Orleans Saints, sit him. I'm finally buying into the New Orleans Saints. My friend Ethan, he's been telling me forever, Austin, they're for real. And like every time, I see them play, like I always feel like I have a reason to pull back, but I'm buying into them wholly and completely. They have a fantastic rushing defense, and they've also got a great stud cornerback in Marshawn Lattimore. So look for DJ Chark to be shut down, and Gardner Minshew is going to have to pass to his other receivers, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that very well. And then my last receiver that I'm going to say to sit is Brady. All right, because the Giants have had multiple sacks in every single game that they've played, and Brady has not been able to do well against sacks this season. Their offensive line is kind of dinged up, and he got beat a lot. Last week, they were in a one-score game in the third quarter before it eventually, pulled away, due in large part to the defense. So I think Brady could have a very slow game on Sunday against the Giants.